yeah, you have to have balls, but you've also got to be right. It stuck with me forever. And he said, let me show you this chart. And he shows me this chart of a fund performance. He says, look at this. You see the steady monthly upward trajectory of this fund. And then he said, and then it just collapses. It goes down 97%. He said, that's long-term capital management. And he said, the thing that's really hard to tell is, am I here in my career or am I here?
How important is it where, on one side, you want to be kind of confident, but the humility is confidence doesn't go into arrogance. And in several of these cases, there was enough evidence that they could be wrong. Like, for example, there's the famous Steve Eisman and Bill Miller kind of face-off type of a thing, where Steve Eisman was this young hedge fund analyst running company. They had done all this work, that this is really a bubble. In the Valen case, there was enough evidence before that there are all these.
I think it's a really profound and important question you raise. It's this thin line between the willingness to be lonely and the arrogance where you say everybody else is wrong, I'm right, and you end up blowing yourself up. And it's a very, very interesting question. And there, I was always a huge admirer of Marty Whitman, and he was an absolutely brilliant contrarian value investor. And Whitman, once I said to him, if you were to own just one stock for the next 10 years, what would it be? And he said, MBIA. And this is the company that Bill Ackman shorted. And Ackman said to me that he actually, I think he said I can't remember if he actually met him, but I think he told me that he contacted Marty and said to him, I want to go through this and explain to you why this is crap, why it's going to fall apart. And Marty kind of dismissed him and kind of badmouthed him in the press. And Marty's a kind of combustible guy, and he's, in the way that, he's feisty. And I talked to Marty about this afterwards, and I said, why did you mess up? And he said, he's now in his 90s, and he said, at a certain point, as I became richer and older, I became lazy. And he said, there were certain stocks where I should have sold. He said, I knew that I should have sold my housing stocks before the financial crisis, and I kind of didn't get around to it. And Bill Nygren said to me that, this is a full-on game. He said, there are lots of people who've decided I'm going to go into semi-retirement. And he's like, no, he's like, either the switch is fully on or it's fully off. He said, it's so hard at that level. And so I think, it's interesting that, all of these guys screw up. I mean, Templeton said to me, however smart you are, you're going to screw up a third of the time. And there was a wonderful moment with Bill Miller where years ago in 2001, after the financial crisis, where he's making these incredibly gutsy bets. I said to him, man, you really have to have balls to do what you do. And he said, yeah, you have to have balls, but you've also got to be right. And it was it stuck with me forever. And he said, let me show you this chart. And he shows me this chart of a fund's performance. He says, look at this. You see the steady monthly upward trajectory of this fund. And then he said, and then it just collapses. It goes down 97%. He said, that's long-term capital management. And he said, the thing that's really hard to tell is, am I here in my career or am I here? And so I think this idea of hubris, of just saying, yeah, I believe this is true, but what if I'm wrong? And just, this is why the idea of the margin of safety is so powerful. And so I think when you look at people like Irving Kahn, who did tremendously well for decades, it's partly they survived. They didn't blow themselves up. And so Irving would have a tremendous amount of cash often. I think at the end he had about half his money in cash. And so, yeah, maybe you underperform, but you survive. And so I think that idea of just being resilient, of trying to be the last man standing rather than necessarily the smartest guy in the room, that's very powerful.